got to get all the wiring out of the way. As you can see, it runs under the console, so we're going to take this off so we can move this. You got it?
I don't know.
So what's the biggest thing to think of whenever you're spraying a Jeep tub?
Biggest thing is watch all your wiring. Some of the newer Jeeps can be a little more difficult. On making sure that the wires are out of your way, and then going back together once you're done. For instance, like this one, we've got to dismantle the roll cage so we can get the plug out of it, because the roll cage goes right against the body right here, and I can't get the plug out, so it needs a little extra work, a little fun times, but somebody's got to do it.
Okay, so what do we gotta do?
All right, so we stripped the interior, and the lady wanted to obviously protect the floor of the Jeep, at the same time kind of sound dead and everything. Plus it's old Jeep, it was built a long time ago, built well, and then it sat for at least 10 years. So everything's a little rusty, a little old. We're gonna spice things up a bit.
All the bolts are out, tailgate is off. Now we're going to mask it off and get ready to sand. All right, give us your masking tips and tricks.
So, when you're masking and prepping for a liner, best thing to do with tape is to leave a little bit of an edge so it doesn't get stuck when you spray. If I'm spraying here and I want the coating to get all inside of here, but I don't want to have to run wire trim tape, then if I leave this flat, when I spray, I'll be able to peel it right off without it sticking around, so you don't have the tape enclosed inside the coating. Right. That's probably the biggest tip.
So why is it not necessary to use wire trim on this?
The only place we got to use wire trim is anywhere where we're going to have a hard line. So there's a central console here. They didn't care about removing all this stuff to get it coated underneath. So we're going to literally run our wire trim tape around the edge as close as we can to make sure when we put the console back in, you're not going to see the edge of the coating. But because we have a lip all the way around here, we're going to take advantage of that. Cut down on the cost of wire trim tape. Use minimum, because everybody knows that runs wire trim tape. It's the most tedious part of prepping, and it is expensive. So if we can cut that out, it saves time, it saves money.
What's the point of sanding?
Roughs up the surface to make the bedliner stick better.
So you gotta sand everything the bed liner's touching?
Yeah, especially the edges. I mean, the liner will stick somewhat, but if you don't sand it and clean it, then it's only gonna stick so good. We want best adhesion possible, so you have to do everything step by step. That's what we do.
All right. Okay, so we just shot back out the Jeep. There was a lot of old dirt in here, so we wanted to make sure that we got all the clumps out. And now we are going to wipe it down with acetone, which cleans and dries the area, preps it for the chemical. So Colton is wiping it down with acetone, the OSHA approved way. And then after that, we'll plastic her off and then she's good to go. All right, we've got it all taped off, draped. We are spraying outside today. We have a blow-up booth that we just got, but it hasn't been put together yet. So you gotta do what you gotta do. We're kind of on a time crunch with this tub spray, so spraying outside, but as long as the wind's on our side, we're good to go.